Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming tonight. I know we have a few filtering in, and this looks like a typical classroom. Fill in the back first and then work your way forward, right? All right. So, I'm Jason Wolf, Activities Director. I know I introduced myself to you last year for the first time, and I had a great first year, really enjoyed being here, and I love it even more now. Being a part, I was kind of in the enemy before being at River Falls, and seeing, you always looked at New Richmond a different way, but then being a part of it, I was just so impressed by all the different pieces of this district. And like I said, this is, a lot of people ask me, how did you like the first year? And really, it's kind of been my dream job. I love the position that I'm in, and I love the people I work with, and I love the community. I've been in the area for a long time, like I told you last year, but just being a part of it even closer now it's made it even more meaningful. So just thank you for making it a great first year for me. All right, our activities office again is myself as the activities director, and Beth Gould. And I know between phone calls, emails, different things, you deal with one of us or the other, and honestly most of the time Ms. Gould here, and I just appreciate all that she does to make that office just run so smoothly and keep things going, especially weeks like last week when I was gone and came back, and I didn't have a whole long list to do because all of the hard work that she puts in as well. So we just but if you need anything from us, just always feel free to give us a call. Give us a call, email us. We'll get back to you. Honestly, just an example, for being gone last week, I came back to 948 more emails. So I get a lot, but I will always try to sift through them and get back to you and try to be in a timely manner. But don't feel, you always feel free to, my number's up there, always feel free to call me directly as well. And so, when you have questions and different things, I know Ms. Gould can answer so many of them, but if you need to talk to me as well, just always feel free to call our office, and we'll definitely give you direction for whatever you may need. All right, our vision and mission, our core values are balance, school balance, activities balance, community, a sense of community, being involved, character and excellence, and really our success measures are that we want high participation rates. All right, and when we say that, that's programmatically. It may not mean that, may not mean high participation means, especially once you get to the varsity level, that it's not a playing time thing. I don't mean that. But we want strong, big programs. And I feel like we're having that. We've been going that direction with New Richmond, and I think it's just continuing to grow. It's a testament to the coaches. It's a testament to you parents for keeping, all of the students involved. And, it's just, like I said, so many good things going here right now. Positive experiences, high character, both high character that we want to teach the players and the students, but also high character from the coaches. And then all of that working, towards a competitive success. And those are all things that we've seen in the past, we've seen it recently, and we want it to continue to grow that way. Some of the updates that we have for this year. Our updated website. Our updated website is really, we're being back absorbed into the school district website. So, even if you have questions after today, this link will be on our website, and we'll even have a video link if you want to go back and watch any of it. But it's now the School District of New Richmond website, and then just go to the high school, and then it'll say activities and athletics, and get you to where you need to be. So that is different from last year, and I just wanted to point that out to everybody. All right, I know there were a couple other things, but I just made slides from them, so I'll just go through them this way. The next one is registration. A lot of you have already been registering for the fall sports. That is awesome. If you haven't, please do so as soon as possible. I really give a lot of credit to the administrative assistants like Ms. Gould. They worked with our Skyward person, Mr. Kuschel, and they designed this so now you don't have to go to a bunch of different things to log in and create new accounts and all of this. It's all done through Skyward now. And so the activities and athletics registration is all through Skyward, so you kind of have a one-stop shop there to make it a lot more convenient and easy for you. So, now you can get the registration, pay all in one place and just done at one time. So that's both for us and the middle school, and so it's, so far it's been working very smoothly. If you have any questions about things, if it hasn't been working for you, again, just please contact us and we'll help, get things corrected and walk you through whatever part may not be working for you. I guess I should say too, feel free to raise your hand anytime if I just gloss over something that you want more information about as well, and I'll try to do my best to, and we'll take care of that. Eligibility must, all right? If you are a newer transfer student, homeschool student, attending virtual school, the WIAA, and this would be more for the athletics side of things, not as much the activities. The athletics part of things, see me, contact me, because we'll have to talk through the WIAA eligibility, all right? And so if you're a new or transfer student, there's a whole form that I'll have to fill out with you, with the students, with parent or guardian, get all of that information, and I have to then it goes to the WIAA for approval. And some people think, that they're just trying to shut people down, things like that. They've been real good to work with. We didn't have any that were not, that weren't allowed last year, but it's just something that we have to do. And so again, if you're new, or if you know a friend or something that's registering or transferring from another school or something, please remind them that they need to see me so we can get their eligibility, work through the eligibility process for the WIAA. Any questions with that? All right. Okay, our next piece is that we have a new platform for our scheduling. Last year, it was called Arbiter, and some of you had to log into that. But now, now we are working with Bound, and that has been a whole conference decision. And so, with Bound, the scheduling as well as the ticketing are going to all be through Bound. All right, we will have the same type of ticket processes. You can get the online tickets right there. You can get some of you get the individual or family passes. Again, those will all be available there. All of this after August 1st. And the last piece is the student tickets. I know a lot of you get your student tickets. You get your free ticket to the games for the home games. And you'll be getting an email on that, which will give you the link. Then you'll just have to go in, put your student ID, and then you'll get your pass for the year as well. So all of that will be happening and be available to you on August 1st, the beginning of next week. All right. SportsU. SportsU is an app that both as a parent and a player that you should have. It is the communication piece for the coaches to the families and the players. All right? Your individual coach, each program has their own link, so the coach will give that to you, and then you as a parent, you as a player can go ahead and download that, and all the team communication goes through that one place. We don't want things happening on Snapchat. We don't want communication happening, in other forms. A big piece of that is for your own protection. It's one of those things that, if anybody says like, well, this was said or this was said on that, if it's on a different platform, I can't step in and be able to help as readily as if it's all with SportsU. And it just makes it simple to have, again, one place to be able to have that team communication. So SportsU, again, your coaches will get you, so if you have volleyball, there's a code for volleyball, and you can go ahead and then sign into that, and then you'll be, starting to get the notifications from the coaches as well, and communication and for that. Streaming. All right, our streaming is through Justin Livestream. That's what it was, last year as well. But just wanted to give everyone a reminder, justinlivestream.com. And they'll be doing the different streaming. Sometimes, the streaming happens in different forms. Sometimes there's, announcers, different things, for certain events and certain games. And then there are some that are just showing the games, so you're able to still watch if, if it's an away game or if it's... And the other thing with streaming is that, and I'll try to get something out on this, is that every district in our conference has their own streaming platform. And so if there's an away game, that Justin Livestream does not go to, because there's very few sports that we have them go to for away games. We'll try to put that link on there, and Justin Livestream works with us as well as trying to get that link out to everybody so you can watch it even if the game is on the road. So that's something that we're getting better and better at, I think, even as a whole conference, working together with that. And I will say with the live stream, it's super cool because even things like singing the national anthem and things like that that are, little things that are shown on the live stream, I had calls from Montana, from Colorado, from different things, from grandparents and different relatives and that they'd say, hey, please pass along to the coach, they did a great job with this aspect of it, or please tell the choir director what a great job with the national anthem by that student, and just things that we can pass along. So it really is a neat thing that we can our program is nationwide. And that's a great opportunity that not every school has that. All right, athletic code for the 26-27 year. We did a big revision on it last year. We just have a couple little tweaks for this year. Nothing really that big, but some of the things that I just need to emphasize are attendance policies for practices, games, and other activities. I think that was one of the things that I dealt with the most last year. Just understanding that, especially for certain things, if you have to leave during the day and that you can't just leave, come back, if there's only, specific things like doctor appointments or that, again, the best thing to do is that with the bottom thing is the code book is on our athletic website, on our activities website. I know it's not the most exciting read, but it is important, especially, or if you have something coming up, or I've already been dealing with a lot of emails, just people asking, hey, this is something that has come up. Are they allowed to be out of school for this and then come back and still be eligible for the game that night? So if you have a question, just call me, and I'll be able to help talk you through that as well. But again, all of that information is on the bottom. But attendance, I put another little slash in there, sports activities. Activities, we kind of have three levels of things. We have athletics, we have activities, and we have clubs. And really the reason that I point that out is the sports and the activities, a lot of them, you have a director of that activity, whether, you call them a coach, whether they're an actual director or a leader. But most of them, will have like a parent meeting, or you have a handbook that they give to the parents or guardians, as well as go through it with their team. And it's very important because, they also have things, they have different directives for their own teams. And if those directives work in conjunction, they always give me a copy and show through and go through it with me. And if it's one of those things that, if it's all in alignment with what our current practices are, but, it's one of those things where you can't, like, let's say you're in the school musical. That's an activity, and, you need to be at school all day if you're going to participate that night in the production, and you need to be at the practices and things like that. And so just, understand, and again, these directors and these coaches, we really put a big emphasis on communication. And I know some are better than others, but we really do, we really make sure that they have good communication with all of you to make sure that this is not It's never a thing that we're just trying to make it hard for people, no, but we also do have to follow what the guidelines are for the district. WIA eligibility for NIL. I'm going to go through that just briefly. Academic ineligibility, that's another thing that if you had Fs from last fall, then you may miss some time, or last spring, it may affect you this fall. And we have our F lists at the end of the quarter, and I know I have to bring people in and we talk and we have a little form that we fill out, an academic form, because the number one thing is that anything with activities and athletics, it's a privilege, it's an extra. And school comes first. And so, just making sure that everyone stays eligible, just making sure that, everyone is on track academically is our number one, always our number one, concern and our number one, goal as a coach. And so we want to make sure that that's the case. So for academic ineligibility, again, I would reach out to you if that were something that affects you. Code violations and what the process is of going through a code violation, whether it be something that you're going to appeal or different things. All of those processes are things that we have spelled out in the activities code booklet. And again, it's on the School District of New Richmond website. And it's probably one of those good things, try to read it right before bed. It'll get you sleepy, but hopefully you'll get some information with it as well. All right, NIL. NIL is something that it is all over the place, but really impacts so few people. Most people are not getting paid to play in high school. And, but it is something that we have to cover. NIL stands for name, image, and likeness, all right? Using your name to sell, any type of product or things like that. Your image or a likeness of your image, all right? All of those things are what the NIL stands for. It is something that, if done properly, you're allowed to do, even in high school. But, there are some different restrictions and there are some different, categories that it falls into that you have to be aware. I will tell you, there's like 3 or 4 slides that the WIA, and I don't want to go through all these different do's and don'ts and go through all the different readings of these things, but again, this will be linked on our website, and this will also be, this whole thing again is, if you have, the bottom line is that at the end here, we kind of put, there's different things of what your limits are, what you're not supposed to be able to be, promoting, things like that. Can't pay, I think these are the kind of the big 3 in high school. You can't have pay based on performance. You can't be missing practices and that for some type of photo shoot for, whatever you're promoting. No agents are allowed at the high school level. And if you have any questions, if you're being approached, just come and see me. Because that's kind of a big deal. And again, it affects, seriously, I think in Wisconsin, I think they said it was, maybe 1% of the athletes. It was just unbelievably low of what this, even though it's a nationwide phenomenon, and you hear about the, these big time athletes getting paid and that. But, and I'm not saying we don't have big time athletes or anything like that, but it's just, it kind of depends on where you're at, and there's a lot of things that are involved with it. But just come and see me, and I'd be able to talk you through it with a little more detail as far as if this is allowed, if it's not allowed. Again, we don't want to take an opportunity away from you. If it's something that, that someone approaches you with, I can help talk you through how it would be allowed. So, again, just come and see me, and it's a process that I can help walk you through. All right. Again, like we said, academics come first, and we need to verify the sources, and that's what one of those slides was just how you can be paid for it as well. All right. We are so lucky to have our own training staff. All right? Everyone just thinks, I think being here when I was in River Falls, we were just used to having training staff there all the time and going down and seeing the trainer when you needed to and you know, take care of an injury, rehab an injury, you know, all of those things. But not every school has that. And you even look in the area schools, so many of them, you know, it's like, well, one night Amory gets the trainer, one night, you know, Baldwin gets the trainer, one night Somerset gets the trainer. We're so lucky to have a trainer on hand all the time. And they come out to the events as well as, you know, in their office preparing you even just daily for practices. Our two athletic trainers, our sports medicine people, are Sean Washusen and Teresa Buss. And they're familiar names, familiar faces to you athletes, Nick, because they've been here a while now. That's another thing that we're very lucky. We don't have a rotating base of a new person every year. So these people know New Richmond, and they know our activities, they know our sports, and so, you know, it makes it a lot easier for them to be helpful and productive in getting you back to 100%, knowing also who they're working with for coaches and things like that. So, so these are, again, these are the same as last year, but these are the people that work with us. And things that they do, concussion management, including our impact baseline test, all right? And now we have the sway test. The sway test is a little bit different. It works more with balance and different things to be able to give that baseline test. First aid and emergency care, injury and condition evaluation, assessment and follow-ups, treatment, rehabilitation, participation, modifications, and return to sport progression, communication with parents, coaches, athletes, involved healthcare providers, and school staff as necessary, all right, and referrals to other healthcare providers. So they do a lot of different things, and we're lucky enough to be in town and have two different clinics in a hospital as well, you know, to be working with a number of doctors, and they all work together very well. And but these are all things, and I think the next page is what I want to talk, and this is the one that I think I deal with probably the most phone calls. And this is their communication piece. It's called Healthy Roster. And there's a handout back there that explains some of those things, and take it if you haven't already. But get signed up for Healthy Roster. One thing I bolded is that you will receive a message when you sign up for Healthy Roster in your registered email to sign up for notifications. I know that so many things that we sign up for nowadays, we say no notifications. We don't want to keep being bombarded. Well, these notifications are important because you're only going to get them when your student has seen a trainer. And so the phone calls that I get are that, wow, my son or daughter has seen a trainer now for the last week and I didn't even know about it. Well, then we find out they didn't have the notification set up. And so, when you look at our training room after school, and the athletes will back me up on this, there is the doorway, and there is usually a line going down and around the hallway. I mean, there are a lot of students with all the activities that we have being seen by our trainers, and for them to be able to sit there and just email you each individually after each one would be difficult. They do it, but it goes into this notification with Healthy Roster. So please sign up for this, and please put the notifications so you can know that your student is being dealt with and dealing with an injury. And that way it helps you get involved, because that way it opened the door. Like maybe you want them to see a specific person, for the rehab and check up on that. And that is absolutely fine. All right, we can do our initial diagnosis, but then you may want to take it from there. But again, knowing it is the most important piece. So make sure you get signed up for this and get those notifications on. There's also a program that we offer. It's Headstrong Concussion Insurance. All right, and this is It's specifically developed, honestly, I'm just going to read it because I surely don't have this memorized, but it's developed to ensure student athletes from a high cost of concussion treatment and neurological follow-up. All right, the insurance only covers athletes in WIAA recognized sports. All right, so open gyms, cheer, powerlifting, that fall into the activities piece. It does not, because it works kind of in conjunction with the WIAA. The student has the first dollar coverage, zero deductible for concussion assessment and treatment. Coverage is secondary or excess to any other valid and collectible insurances, but will come out of the primary payer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It covers, so it'll first go to your insurance, and then this will cover the rest if need be. If you don't have insurance, it'll say on there, then it will be the primary for that. Again, only for concussions. All right, this is a program to make sure that we're getting follow-up, all the things we need be. And that's one thing I'll say, is that even in making our, when we do our questionnaire for registration, and even our school, when it asks for, have you had any serious injuries? And realize, and we also put specifically concussion, all right? Obviously our brains are important. And that is considered a serious injury. It might be a minor one, but realize that they build up. I can say this firsthand. My daughter was a Division I volleyball player, and her career ended after year 3 because of too many concussions. And so it's a very important thing. And they, University of Houston would not clear her anymore because they didn't want to put her in that position because, concussions, while they don't always seem, they have different names. Some people, it's just a happy headshot. It's just, I just got dinged or whatever. But realize it's a brain bruise, and so we really take them seriously. So we do have this, opportunity. One thing I will say on the bottom here, the claims are submitted through Mutual of Omaha. I had a lot of people come in and try to turn these into me. We don't deal with this. This is the, Westfield's and the training staff providing this, and so we don't return the forms to school. They would be sent in directly to Mutual of Omaha. All right, physicals. All right, physicals are good for 2 years. All right, so you need it every other year. For it to be eligible here now, it needs to be dated after April 1st of 2025. Then they would expire at the end of the school year. And then also the baseline, the sway testing is good for 2 years. Every other year, it's done here with the trainers, all right, and right here at school. But make sure before you can practice, this has to be done. Realize all these things. So doing the registration and getting the physicals in, all right, is something that you cannot practice unless that's done. And I know we have one sport already practicing next week, so making sure we're getting things in as soon as possible. As far as, like I said, getting these, you can get them done anywhere you want to. I know TCO does, them. I know there are other hospitals that people may go to, or just, if you're running kind of late and you're in a hard time, you never know, you just find any doctor that you can get the physical from, or any hospital, because maybe they're full here. But I know these right in town, they work very well with us, and they do everything they can to get you eligible and to get you in to see them. So having, again, 2 right in town is just a real advantage. That it's easy for me to say that because I came, even though I had all those years in River Falls, I also then went up to Webster, Wisconsin. And being an administrator in Webster, we didn't have all these opportunities. We didn't have a trainer. We didn't have all of these things. So I keep saying these things because they're just second nature here. But they're not everywhere. And so having all these advantages is really a neat thing. All right. The last thing I want to say is remember, you're always a Tiger. All right? Being a part of the Richmond athletics activities puts you in the spotlight. You are a Tiger both in school and in the community. Represent yourself and the school well. You know, most of the things, like if I had to deal with code violations or things like that, it wasn't in school, it was outside of school. And, you know, realize people know who you are. People really follow New Richmond, both activities and sports. I mean, if you come to the musical here, it's hard to get a seat. When you go out to the different sporting events, people know you're visible with all the live streaming, with all of the different things that go on. People know who you are. And if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, it usually comes back to us. And, you know, I don't want to end in a negative, because I don't mean that to be negative. It's actually a really neat thing that you're in the spotlight like this. And I was really pleasantly surprised. I didn't have to deal with a whole lot last year negatively. All right? I really commend you students. I commend you families. All right? Your parents, your guardians. I appreciate all that you do in raising good young people that are representing us well. And I just always want to remind everybody that it's really a neat thing, that you're always a tiger, whether you're here or around. And with that, you know, that's the last thing I have. I thank you all for coming tonight. And I am just so excited. This is a great night. I get so excited because for me, it's kind of the unofficial start of the school year. And so it's good to see all of you. And I can't wait for working with all of you this year. Thank you.